Hello everybody! Time for this week's video. Oh yes, thank you for watching and for liking and for subscribing and for commenting and for emailing and sharing and everything else. So much stuff you do, it's so amazing. Prayer request. Please continue to pray for the girl at school's mother who was in a coma, and for Brother Matthias and everyone else, all other missionaries out in Sri Lanka and India, and I think that's the current prayer request. So please continue to pray. Today's lesson is called Making the Difference. Leviticus chapter 10, verse 10 says, "And that you may put difference between holy and unholy, and between unclean and clean." Now what that verse is saying is that we've got to make the difference between things that are holy and things that are not holy. Things that are clean and things that are not clean. Basically, things that are of God and things that are not. Plain and simple. 1 Peter chapter 1 verses 15 and 16 says, "But as he which hath called you is holy, so be ye holy in all manner of conversation. Because it is written, Be ye holy, for I am holy." I referring to God, not me. Holy means belonging to, or derived from, or associated with divine power. Belonging to God. Being derived from God. Being associated with God. That's what being holy is. If we ourselves are not holy, how can we make that difference between things that are holy and things that are not? If we're not holy, then we're unholy. Just like that. If you are not something, you're the opposite of it. If you're not clean, then you're dirty. You're unclean. If you're not of God, then you're of the world. And people, they often get this confused. People call themselves Christians. Well, what does it mean to be a Christian? A Christian is someone who follows the teachings of Christ, follows what he did, tries to follow his life like how he led it. Jesus forgave those that sinned against him. Jesus loved those that hated them. Jesus did everything that a Christian should do. Well, the thing is, there's people who call themselves Christians, and then there's people who are Christians. The people who call themselves Christians are the people who just consider it another title. Just something else to add to their description. Like saying, oh yes, that person's French. That's their heritage. And then they're Christian too. Nothing big about it. There's hundreds of millions of people in the world who call themselves Christians who are not Christians. Being a Christian is a way of life. Jesus was a Jew. Jews lived to serve God. Jews were God's chosen people, so they dedicate themselves to God. There weren't Catholic Jews or Baptist Jews or Pentecostal Jews. A Jew was a Jew. A Jew lived their life to God. It was their way of life. But the thing is, we as Christians put a title on how we serve God. Oh, well, I'm Catholic. That's how I believe I should serve God. I'm Baptist. That's how I believe I should serve God. No, I'm Pentecostal. I wear skirts. I don't cut my hair. That's how I show that I serve God. But the thing is, it's where we draw that line. Because Jesus he didn't consider it a title. He considered it a way of life. His way of life was different from the Muslims. The Jews are different from the Muslims because there's that big difference. There's a difference between Buddhism and Christianity. Well, the thing is, Christians don't put that emphasis like how Buddhism and monks and everyone and all those other religions out in Asia do. Monks shave their heads and commit their whole life. Everything around them revolves around their religion. While Christians go to church, then they go home and watch that show that has all that cussing in it. Or go somewhere and watch MTV. Or something else. They don't dedicate their life to it like some people who don't even have the real truth do. They do that because that was what they were taught. But the thing is, they haven't experienced the love that we have. They don't truly get any good benefits from it. They don't know what the truth is. They think they do, but us being real Christians have actually experienced the truth, have experienced God. But there's putting that difference between being Christian and being of the world. See those Christians in the middle? I got a verse for you. Revelations chapter 3, verses 15 and 16. Well, actually, I have two verses for you. I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot. I being God, would that thou wert cold or hot. So then, because thou art lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth. The actual Hebrew term means to vomit. God wants you to choose. I'm sorry, Hannah Montana, or anyone else who believes they're Hannah Montana. You can't have the best of both worlds. You cannot be a Christian and be of the world. First off, you can try, but it doesn't work. Normally, in the end, you end up being of the world. That's just how it works. Because the thing is, people often don't realize the difference. You can call yourself a Christian, but people don't know that until you label yourself. Or until you say, oh yeah, by the way, I'm a Christian. People need to be able to see the difference. People need to see that how you act, how you tell your life story, how you live each day is different than that person down the street who says that they are not Christian. Because if people cannot tell the difference, then there is no difference. There isn't. You cannot influence the world by trying to be like it. You cannot. I've been struggling with this myself. I have been trying to make myself more different than the people around me at school. People at school cuss all day. I don't. Plain and simple. People at school go and do drugs. I don't. Plain and simple. But the thing is, it's how we emphasize that point. We draw that line. We make the difference in the world. We make the difference between he that believes that he is not, he that is not a Christian, and he that is a Christian, and then he that believes himself to be a Christian. Because being a Christian is more than just a title. It's so much more. It's more love It's more truth. Because the thing is, people that try to be Christians, they do want to have the best of both worlds. Well, they have the world in this hand, and they have Christianity in this hand. Well, here's the best of the world. Name a few things. Yeah, can't hear you. There's nothing good that you can benefit from the world. Nothing. Smoking, that just damages your health. Drinking, what benefit really does that have? I'm not saying that everyone who drinks or everyone who smokes or everyone that does all that stuff is going to hell, but think about the benefits of that. Sure, you can have a fun time. I've lived for the past 15 years and have a good time all the time, and I've never drank, I've never smoked, I've never done drugs, I've never done anything like that. But then you look at the best side of Christianity. You're blessed. You normally have money in your pocket, middle class. You can feel love. You normally don't have friends that backstab you like most of the world. And I could go on for days and days. So, what's the point of being on the fence? You're either Christian or you're not. God despises the people that are in the middle, the people that can't choose. Because then that means that they don't want God. They kind of want Him. They want His benefits, but He's not good enough for them. It's kind of a sense of pride. They think that they deserve the good things that are in the world, and they won't humble themselves to God. So find out where you're at. Are you hot for Jesus? Are you cold for the world? Or are you lukewarm? If you can't tell where you're at in that little array of temperature, then I can tell you where you're at. You are most likely not hot if you can't tell. But if you think that you're cold or lukewarm, you can increase your temperature. You can increase your hotness. Pardon the pun. And by increasing it, it shows your devotion to God. And you'll begin to see the benefits that it has, that Jesus has for you. In some ways you can do it is by reading your instruction, Emanuel, or having some genuine praise, or possibly also using your talents for Jesus. Now, have a great day, and God bless.